Welcome back to Education. All right, so I have a question for you.
I may have an answer.
Do you know the difference between men's hormones and women's hormones?
Yes.
Ooh.
Estrogen, testosterone.
Not exactly.
Class is over.
Not exactly what we were going for.
No, but aren't those hormones?
They are. Very good job.
But women have testosterone and men have estrogen. I mean, we all have both, right?
Correct. We're digressing. So what I was getting at is men's hormones reset every 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Women's hormones reset every 28 days. So when guys ask you why you don't know what you want for dinner, why you act like a new person every day, you actually do have an excuse as to why that is. Because at every part of your cycle, it's very different.
Okay.
So we have 4 phases of our cycle, right?
Okay.
So right after your menstrual cycle is over, we start with the follicular phase.
Not, what's the thing? I thought it was after your cycle. It's called when you want to get pregnant, you know.
Ovulation.
Ovulation.
Yes. So
Is that not
ovulation
first?
falls within follicular.
Okay.
But you have a couple days of follicular before you get into ovulation.
Okay.
Ovulation is when you're going to have the most estrogen pumping through your blood. This is when you feel the prettiest. You're like, I can conquer anything. I can talk to anyone. I can perform.
I'm going to curl my hair today.
Yes.
That's when you're in ovulation.
Correct. Also when you're going to want to have sex with your person because you feel horny.
Okay.
Yeah, that is when we are the readiest to go.
Gotcha. And it
And
makes
then-
sense because we have a lot of eggs dropping if we're planning to have a child.
Correct.
To be in the mood.
To be ready.
You know.
To tango. Yes.
I like it.
So after ovulation, we move into luteal. So for the first, couple days of luteal, we feel pretty good. And then our estrogen starts to dip. Our progesterone starts to raise.
Okay.
In anticipation for our period.
PMS.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
And
that
then
sounds like.
menstrual comes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the same cycle that we follow every single month.
Okay.
If your hormones are in balance and you're fitting in all the stages.
And that's like roughly, you said, every 28.
28, depending on 24 to 28 days,
Okay.
depending on your cycle. Some women go 30, but yeah.
And then obviously men have a different cycle because theirs only lasts 24 hours.
Exactly.
Do you know what that cycle is, or does it have the same names?
No, completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, not the same at all.
Okay.
We're focusing on women today. We can do a
Sorry, dudes.
entirely different episode on testosterone.
But it is good to know that,
Yes.
because I didn't realize their hormones are resetting every day, which makes a lot of sense because men tend to be, for the most part, like,
Pretty even keel.
yeah, you kind of know what to expect, like,
Yes.
pretty predictable.
But for the first 2 weeks of our cycle, we're more productive, I would say, than the average man for the whole month.
Accurate.
Yeah. But then once we get into halfway through luteal, getting to menstrual is where we're like, don't want to see you, don't want to talk to you, don't talk to me.
Everything makes me
Very
cry.
introspective. So what I try and teach women to do is really focus their work and focus their days around where they're at in their cycle.
Oh,
so
wow.
adhering your workouts to where you are in your cycle, your energy level, doing things that make sense versus trying to push through the pain.
So question for you. How would a woman know where she is in her cycle if, for example, she doesn't have a regular cycle? Because that would change things, right?
Yeah, so first and foremost, if you're not having a regular cycle, that's not okay.
Yeah.
And that means that your hormones are off balance and we've got some work to do. But it's possible to bring it back.
Okay.
So the most common reasons that I see for women who are not having a period, not ovulating, is really related to lifestyle. There are other things that can come into play, but we're in a culture right now where being thin is everything. So many women are taking drastic measures to keep their body at a very, very low body weight. Now, does it happen to women with a low body weight? Often, yes, but could a woman not appear at a very low body weight and still be in the same problem? Absolutely. So they may be overworking out, underfueling their body, not sleeping enough, really, really high stress. So our hormones are so sensitive to that, and it's really going to throw you off.
So what do the hormones do, like, for the body? I feel like, like colloquially, like people talk about, like, a woman is like acting crazy, it's like, oh, our hormones are out of balance. But like, do our hormones really regulate our mental state, our overall health? Like, how does that work?
They do, and for women, it's the cornerstone of everything, right? So our body is so smart. We have a hypothalamus gland in our body. So let's say you're chronically under eating, very stressed out. Your hypothalamus gland is going to go like this to the baby maker. She's too stressed. She cannot carry a baby to term, and it's really going to stop you from being able to get pregnant. And so, even if it's a mental block because maybe you're in an abusive marriage or a stressor like that, can really affect your body from being able to conceive a baby.
Now, let me ask you this, because that's really interesting. Could that, what did you call it? The
Hypothalamus gland.
The hypothalamus gland, could it respond after you have conceived? Is that something that could?
No, but your body is smart enough to know, let's say you conceive a baby, right, and it's missing an X chromosome and it has the Y. Well, obviously we want both, and if it's thinking that something's not going to happen right, our body is going to miscarry. So a lot of women think of like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
But honestly, our bodies are very smart. So I would say thank you, body, because that pregnancy was terminated for a reason, not anything to do with the woman usually.
Yeah, and I think scientifically that makes sense, but if you're a spiritual person, you maybe believe like everything happens for a reason.
For sure.
So you can find, kind of solace in that, mindset. Okay, so we've talked about hormones, how they regulate the body. I'm never going to remember that word you said that stops the baby making,
Hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus. What else did we get into about, the difference between like male hormones and male cycle, female cycle, how our hormones regulate and reset.
Yeah.
This has all been really great. We're going to be right back, and we're going to be talking about birth control. We'll see you in a few.